Welcome to the Treasure Box Challenge, brought to
Brought
you
to
by
you by
Visual Art.
Visuals. Woo!
All right, guys, I'm going to let you in on a pretty cool secret about art, and that is that there's kind of a secret recipe. What it entails is a little bit of truth and a little bit of mystery. So that truth is what we recognize in a piece of artwork that makes us connect to it. So that could be a facial expression, it could be a location, it could be a color scheme, it could be really anything, any kind of truth that we connect to. And then the second thing is the mystery. Instead of spelling everything out for your audience, what if you hold something back? Make them wonder a little bit, make them wanting more. It creates anticipation, which is powerful. All right, so here's an example of a little bit of truth and a little bit of mystery in a treasure box piece of art. So we've got this girl and she's looking inside of this box. And we're already drawn into the image because out of the box is all of this light. Her eyes are making us look inside the box, but we can't see what's in that box. All we see is the evidence of how magical it is in the light. So we've got a truth here, which would be like her face. We can identify with maybe the peace or the excitement that we see. It's like mild excitement, but it's there. And we can also relate to wanting to know what's inside of that box, that mystery. So this is a good example of truth and mystery and a cool little illustration about treasure. All right, so whenever I'm given a theme for a piece of art that I didn't maybe think about myself, it's a good idea to explore that theme. What does that theme mean to you? What can you create from that theme? And here are some things that I think about when I think about treasure boxes. Your list of things might be similar, they might be slightly different, they might be wildly different. So you want to kind of sit and think about what treasure means to you. For me, it's all about the hunt or the adventure that's involved. It's about the collection, like you're storing things together. Maybe it's multiple things in that box. It's also about the hiding of that treasure. It's like you want to keep it away from prying eyes and other people. You're keeping it safe. It's also about that treasure, right? That goal or that prize or that thing that we love that we're like hoarding for ourselves. And then there's also the idea of being really excited when you find the treasure. That's a cool feeling. All right, so we know we're going to make a piece of art based on treasure boxes. The next kind of thing that you want to be contemplating is how you're going to make it. What are you going to build it with? So what you need to know is that all of us are living in different houses with different materials and different resources. So don't feel like you have to have an iPad to make some pretty stellar art. You don't. But it's one of your options. So you can make some digital art. You could do animation, video, and photography on really simple apps, or you can do really involved pieces of art if you've got some pretty stellar equipment at your house. Whatever you've got at your disposal, use it however best you can. Another way to make good art is just any kind of 2D materials that you might be used to. It could be as simple as crayons. Maybe all you've got is a ballpoint pen. You can make some pretty cool art with a ballpoint pen. Maybe you've got some Sharpies or some highlighters. You might have some Prismacolors at home. You might have some watercolors, whether it be like the cheapest brand possible or you've got the best brand possible. But you can see here some different examples of treasure box art made with different drawing materials. And then maybe you want to do something 3D. If it was me, and it actually is going to be, I'm going to do something 3D for this project. You could actually make a treasure box out of cardboard. You can use cereal boxes are my favorite kind of cardboard because they cut really easy. And because they fold really easy. But you could use Amazon boxes. You could take a box that already exists and recreate it or decorate it or collage it. Get creative. And it doesn't even just have to be a box. It could be a sculpture of some sort that relates to this theme. All right, so once you kind of figure out what materials you have at your disposal, what you're kind of leaning toward, then you want to start thinking about the actual story that you're going to tell, your image. You're a visual storyteller. So if it were me, I would try to figure out which direction I want to go out of these two options. If you want to do something very literal, or if you want to do something kind of conceptual. Now, what that means is kind of the idea or the story can be very literal. So if you look at this picture on the left, we've got a box and we've got all the treasures laid out in an interesting, creative and very geometrical way. Okay, that's very literal. Treasure box, treasure, we got it. All right. But then the one on the right is something a little bit more conceptual. Like maybe there's like a story going on here. Maybe that guy at the bottom is on a treasure hunt and he knows he's got to get into one of those flying ships to get to where he needs to go. We can kind of feel the adventure of this conceptual piece of art. So you could build your own conceptual piece of art. Or Mr. Hall wrote some pretty cool prompts. So let's hear those.
When you are born, a treasure box is hidden somewhere in your house or on your property, containing your identity. Once you become a teenager, your family or guardians let you go, find it, but with no prior knowledge of the location. Go on an adventure and find out who you are. Where will you find your treasure box? What might be your true identity? What mystery awaits you? Will you find the truth?
You are a scavenger who has lived much of your life hiding from an invisible enemy during a post apocalyptic era. You stumble upon a bunker, closet, basement, attic, cupboard. You find a treasure box with the key to your survival. What mystery awaits you? Will you find the truth? Will you survive? Take your audience along for the ride.
Imagine you're packing your bags and leaving the only house you've ever known and called home. And you remember your grandmother's voice calling out to you. The treasure is hidden in the walls of this house. When you find the treasure, you will find blank. How would you fill in that blank? What mystery awaits you? Will you find the truth about your treasure and your grandmother and the stories that she told you? All right, so there's a pretty cool prompt for you. Or you can make your own prompt. What kind of conceptual image do you want to make about treasure hunts? Okay, so now we've kind of talked about this theme of treasure hunts. We've kind of talked about how you think about an image and what materials you're going to use to make it. If you're going to do something kind of literal or conceptual, now the only thing left to do is go and make it. All right, so you guys, that is your treasure box challenge. Are you ready? The due date is this coming Sunday, April 12th at midnight. So make sure you've got your media uploaded before Monday starts. And there's a little guide to how to get there. Go to Schoology, go to groups, treasure box challenge, go into the albums, and then find the right album for the week of April 6th through April 12th. Now, I just want to remind you of something. Should be a family affair. So I'm hoping that you'll get your siblings involved, whether older or younger. You could have like a family night where everybody does a treasure box challenge. You can get grandma involved and she can show you where that treasure is in that house. Whatever you got to do, the idea behind these challenges is that it's connecting us, it's giving us creative opportunities to create together. Okay. The other thing that I want to tell you, every single one of you, whether you're an art student or you've never taken an art class in your life and you're never planning on it, you can barely draw stickmen, that is totally okay. This is about having fun and creating something. And the winner here isn't necessarily going to be the prettiest piece of art with the most skill. If you've ever been in one of my enrichments, I tend to choose the thing that makes me laugh the most because that's how I'm geared. I like joy and I like to laugh. So be clever, be creative, tell a cool story, and even if it's stickman, you might just find yourself the winner. All right, you guys, that's everything I have to tell you about treasure boxes. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Remember, no stress, no pressure. This should just be fun and exciting. I love you guys. Good luck and happy days.